Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Speaking Nerds channel. We are so excited to have you here with us today. I'm your lovely host, Maya.
And I'm John. This is where we explore real English, the kind that actually helps you connect with people, express yourself authentically, and navigate conversations that matter. Not just textbook phrases, but the language of real human connection.
Exactly. And if you're serious about improving your English and learning how native speakers really communicate, please show your support by hitting that like button right now and subscribing to English Speaking Nerds. Your support means everything to us and helps us create more content just like this.
It really does. And today, we're diving into something that's perfect for this time of year. We're talking about how to discuss Christmas Day in English.
Talking about Christmas Day. Now, Christmas is one of the biggest holidays celebrated around the world. And even if you don't celebrate it yourself, you'll definitely encounter conversations about it in English-speaking countries. People talk about their plans, their traditions, their memories, and their feelings about the holiday season.
It absolutely is everywhere, because Christmas isn't just one day. It's this whole season of conversations, plans, gatherings, and experiences. When someone asks, "What are you doing for Christmas?" or "How was your Christmas?" you need the vocabulary and the cultural understanding to respond naturally and keep the conversation flowing.
And stick around until the end because we're going to cover something really important: how to talk about Christmas, whether you celebrate it or not, how to navigate different Christmas traditions, and how to share your own experiences in ways that create genuine connection. This is going to be a helpful one.
So let's jump right in. Maya, when someone asks you, "What are you doing for Christmas?" what goes through your mind?
Oh, that's such a common question this time of year. And it's interesting because it's not just about the actual day. People are asking about your whole holiday season. They want to know about your plans, your traditions, who you're spending time with, what makes your Christmas special.
Yes, and this is what I call holiday conversation layers.
Holiday conversation layers. I love that. Break it down for everyone.
Holiday conversation layers means that when people talk about Christmas, they're not just exchanging information about one day. They're sharing traditions, memories, feelings, family dynamics, cultural practices, and personal meaning. A simple question like, "What are you doing for Christmas?" can lead to conversations about family, food, gifts, travel, religion, childhood memories, or current plans. It's layered with meaning.
That's exactly it. And there's also this cultural knowledge you need to understand what people are really asking. We call that Christmas cultural literacy.
Christmas cultural literacy. Explain that one.
Christmas cultural literacy is understanding the common traditions, expectations, and social patterns around Christmas in English-speaking cultures. It means knowing that when someone asks about Christmas, they might be asking about decorations, gift-giving, special meals, family gatherings, religious services, or time off work. You need to understand the context to respond naturally.
That's incredibly important because Christmas means different things to different people. For some, it's a religious holiday celebrating the birth of Jesus. For others, it's a cultural celebration about family and giving. For some, it's just a day off work. Understanding this helps you navigate conversations with sensitivity.
Exactly. And that's where we get into what I call holiday conversation navigation.
Holiday conversation navigation. Define that for us.
Holiday conversation navigation is the ability to talk about Christmas in ways that respect different beliefs, include people who don't celebrate, and find common ground in conversations. It's knowing how to share your own traditions without assuming everyone does the same thing, and how to show interest in others' experiences without making them uncomfortable.
It's essential because in diverse English-speaking environments, you'll meet people who celebrate Christmas religiously, people who celebrate it culturally, people who celebrate other December holidays like Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, and people who don't celebrate anything at all. Good communication means being inclusive.
Right, which brings us to something crucial: the different ways people experience and talk about Christmas. Not everyone has the same traditions or feelings about it. We call this Christmas experience diversity.
That's so important. Christmas experience diversity means recognizing that people have vastly different relationships with this holiday. Some people love it and have cherished traditions. Some people find it stressful or lonely. Some people have complicated family dynamics around it. Some people don't celebrate it at all. Your conversations need to allow space for all these different experiences.
And native speakers navigate this naturally through years of social experience. But for learners, there's often this gap between wanting to join the conversation and not knowing the right words or cultural references. It's what I call the holiday conversation confidence gap.
The holiday conversation confidence gap. I've seen people struggle with this. They either avoid Christmas conversations entirely, or they accidentally say something that doesn't quite fit the context.
It really can be tricky, because talking about Christmas requires vocabulary, cultural awareness, and conversational flexibility, which is exactly why we're doing this episode. We want to give you the tools to discuss Christmas like a native speaker would.
So let's start by talking about the different contexts where Christmas comes up in conversation, because the situation dramatically changes your approach.
Absolutely. First, there's what I call casual Christmas small talk. This is light, friendly conversation about the holiday season.
Casual Christmas small talk includes questions like, "Are you ready for Christmas?" Or, "What are your Christmas plans?" Or, "How was your Christmas?" These are friendly, surface-level questions where people share basic information. You might say, "I'm spending it with family," or "Just a quiet day at home," or "We're traveling to see relatives."
Then there are tradition-sharing conversations. These happen when people genuinely want to learn about each other's Christmas experiences.
Tradition-sharing conversations invite more detailed responses. Someone might ask, "What does your family usually do for Christmas?" Or, "Do you have any special Christmas traditions?" These questions give you space to share meaningful details. You might describe your family dinner, your gift-giving customs, your decorating traditions, or special activities you do every year.
What about Christmas planning discussions? Those are practical conversations about logistics.
Christmas planning discussions focus on arrangements and schedules. You talk about travel plans, who's hosting dinner, what gifts you're buying, when you're taking time off work, or how you're managing your budget. These are the nuts and bolts conversations that happen in the weeks leading up to Christmas.
And then there are reflective Christmas conversations. These are deeper talks about what Christmas means to you.
Reflective Christmas conversations explore feelings, memories, values, and personal significance. Someone might share childhood Christmas memories, talk about how Christmas has changed for them over the years, discuss what they love or struggle with about the holiday, or explain what Christmas means spiritually or culturally to them. These conversations create real connection.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. When you talk about Christmas in English, you're not just sharing information, you're revealing what I call cultural participation signals.
Cultural participation signals. This is important. Explain it.
Cultural participation signals means how you talk about Christmas reveals your relationship with the culture. If you're familiar with common traditions, vocabulary, and social patterns around Christmas, you're showing cultural fluency. If you ask questions or express uncertainty, you're showing you're learning. Both are perfectly fine, but understanding this helps you navigate conversations more smoothly.
That's the difference between saying, "I don't really know much about Christmas," and saying, "We don't celebrate Christmas in my culture, but I'm curious about your traditions." The second shows cultural awareness and openness.
Exactly, and native speakers pick up on these signals and adjust their communication accordingly.
It really is. And there's another important layer. When you discuss Christmas, you're also demonstrating what we call inclusive language awareness.
Inclusive language awareness. That sounds important.
It is. Inclusive language awareness means talking about Christmas in ways that don't exclude people who celebrate differently or don't celebrate at all. It's the difference between assuming everyone celebrates Christmas and acknowledging that people have different traditions. Instead of, "What are you doing for Christmas?" you might ask, Do you celebrate Christmas? Or do you have any plans for the holidays?
So when I say Happy Holidays instead of only Merry Christmas, I'm being more inclusive of different celebrations.
Exactly, which makes conversations more welcoming and respectful. You're acknowledging diversity while still participating in the cultural conversation.
Let's talk about something that affects many learners. When you want to join Christmas conversations, but you don't celebrate it yourself. Because you can still participate in discussions without pretending to have traditions you don't have.
This is so important. There's a phenomenon I call holiday conversation inclusion.
Holiday conversation inclusion. Define it.
Holiday conversation inclusion is when you participate in Christmas discussions by showing genuine interest, asking questions, sharing observations, or discussing the holiday from your perspective, even if you don't personally celebrate. You're part of the conversation without pretending to have experiences you don't have. You can say, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I love seeing all the decorations. Or, we don't do Christmas in my family, but tell me about your traditions. Or, I'm learning about Christmas customs. What's most important to you about the holiday?
But here's the thing. Curiosity and respect go a long way. The question is how you express interest in ways that are genuine and appropriate.
Exactly. So how do you participate in Christmas conversations authentically, regardless of whether you celebrate?
I think you start with what I call conversational bridge phrases. You create connection points that work for everyone.
Conversational bridge phrases. Explain that.
Conversational bridge phrases are statements that allow you to participate in Christmas conversations in authentic ways. Instead of avoiding the topic or feeling left out, you use phrases that create connection, like, I'm enjoying the festive atmosphere even though we don't celebrate, or the holiday season has such a nice energy, or I love how people come together this time of year, or tell me about your favorite Christmas memory. These phrases let you engage without pretending to celebrate.
That's powerful, because Christmas conversations aren't just for people who celebrate. They're social opportunities for connection. You give yourself permission to be part of the conversation in your own way.
Exactly. And you can use phrases like, I'm curious about, or I've noticed that, or in my culture, we have something similar, or I'd love to hear more about. These phrases show interest and openness.
Now, let's talk about vocabulary, because having the right words makes Christmas conversations so easier. What are the basic Christmas concepts we need to know?
The main areas are traditions, decorations, food, gifts, activities, and feelings. Let's start with traditions. What are common Christmas traditions people talk about?
Common traditions include putting up a Christmas tree, hanging stockings, exchanging gifts, having a special family dinner, attending church services, singing Christmas carols, watching Christmas movies, baking cookies, sending Christmas cards, and visiting family.
How would you describe these in natural conversation?
You might say, we always put up our tree the first weekend of December, or my family has this tradition of opening one present on Christmas Eve, or every year we watch the same Christmas movies together, or we bake cookies and give them to our neighbors, or Christmas dinner is the big event for us.
What about decorations? What vocabulary do people use?
For decorations, you'll hear Christmas tree, ornaments, lights, wreaths, garlands, tinsel, star or angel for the treetop, stockings, nativity scene, candles, and mistletoe.
How do you talk about decorating?
You might say, we decorated the house last weekend, or I love putting ornaments on the tree, or we hung lights outside, or the whole neighborhood is decorated, or I need to buy a wreath for the door, or our tree looks beautiful this year.
What about Christmas food? What do people typically eat?
Traditional Christmas foods vary by country, but common ones include roast turkey or ham, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, cranberry sauce, roasted vegetables, dinner rolls, Christmas pudding, Christmas cookies, gingerbread, fruitcake, eggnog, and hot chocolate.
How would you talk about Christmas dinner?
You might say, we're having turkey this year, or my mom makes the best stuffing, or I'm in charge of dessert, or we always have ham for Christmas dinner, or I baked Christmas cookies, or the food was amazing, or I ate too much, or dinner was delicious.
What about gifts? This is a huge part of Christmas conversations.
Gift vocabulary includes presents, gifts, stocking stuffers, gift wrap, wrapping paper, bows, ribbons, gift tags, gift exchange, Secret Santa, wish list, shopping, and unwrapping.
How do people talk about gifts?
You might say, I'm still shopping for gifts, or I have no idea what to get my brother, or I finished my Christmas shopping early this year, or we're doing a gift exchange with my cousins, or my office is doing Secret Santa, or I can't wait to see their face when they open it, or I got the perfect gift for my mom, or we're wrapping presents tonight.
What about after Christmas? How do you talk about gifts you received?
You might say, I got some great gifts this year, or my favorite present was, or I was surprised when I opened, or I got exactly what I wanted, or the kids loved their gifts, or we need to write thank you notes, or I'm returning this because it doesn't fit.
What about Christmas activities? What do people do during the Christmas season?
Common activities include decorating, shopping, wrapping presents, baking, caroling, watching Christmas movies, attending Christmas parties, ice skating, looking at Christmas lights, going to church services, spending time with family, traveling, taking time off work, and celebrating.
How do you talk about these activities?
You might say, we went ice skating yesterday, or I'm taking the week off work, or we drove around looking at Christmas lights, or my company is having a Christmas party, or we're hosting Christmas dinner this year, or I'm traveling to see my parents, or we watched 3 Christmas movies, or the whole family is coming over.
What about feelings associated with Christmas? How do people express their emotions about the holiday?
People express a wide range of feelings. Positive ones include excited, joyful, festive, cheerful, grateful, cozy, nostalgic, peaceful, merry, magical, warm, and generous.
How would you express these feelings?
You might say, I'm so excited for Christmas, or this is my favorite time of year, or I love the festive atmosphere, or Christmas makes me feel like a kid again, or I'm grateful for my family, or there's something magical about Christmas morning, or I feel so cozy with the tree lit and everyone together, or the Christmas spirit puts me in a generous mood.
But what about challenging feelings? Not everyone loves Christmas.
That's really important. Some people feel stressed, overwhelmed, lonely, sad, anxious, pressured, exhausted, broke, or nostalgic in a bittersweet way.
How do you express these feelings honestly?
You might say, I'm stressed about getting everything done, or the holidays are overwhelming for me, or I find this time of year a bit lonely, or Christmas is hard since my dad passed, or I'm anxious about seeing my family, or the financial pressure is tough, or I'm exhausted from all the preparations, or it's bittersweet remembering past Christmases.
And it's okay to express these feelings. Not everyone has a perfect, joyful Christmas.
Exactly. Honesty creates real connection, and people appreciate when you're genuine about your experience. Let's talk about how to ask questions about Christmas, because questions keep conversations going and show interest.
Great point. You can ask about plans, like, what are you doing for Christmas? Or do you have any Christmas plans? Or are you traveling for the holidays?
You can ask about traditions. Does your family have any special Christmas traditions? Or what do you usually do on Christmas Day? Or how does your family celebrate?
You can ask about preparations, like, are you ready for Christmas? Or have you finished your shopping? Or did you put up your tree yet? Or have you started baking?
You can ask about the past. How was your Christmas? Or what did you do for Christmas? Or did you have a good holiday? Or what gifts did you get?
You can ask about preferences, like, what's your favorite Christmas thing? Or what's your favorite Christmas tradition? Or what's your favorite Christmas movie? Or what's your favorite Christmas food?
You can ask about feelings. Are you excited for Christmas? Or how do you feel about the holidays? Or does Christmas stress you out?
And if someone doesn't celebrate, you can ask, do you celebrate Christmas? Or what holidays do you celebrate? Or how do you spend this time of year? What about responding to these questions? How do you give good answers that keep the conversation flowing?
For what are you doing for Christmas, you can answer with your plans, we're going to my parents' house, or just staying home this year, or we're hosting Christmas dinner, or traveling to see family, or having a quiet day with my partner, or my siblings and I are all getting together.
For how was your Christmas, you can share highlights. It was wonderful. We had the whole family together. Or really nice and relaxing. Or it was great. The kids loved their gifts. Or quiet but nice. Or a bit chaotic but fun. Or it was good to see everyone.
For what's your favorite Christmas tradition, you can describe something meaningful. We always watch It's a Wonderful Life together. Or my mom makes this special breakfast on Christmas morning. Or we open presents one at a time so we can enjoy each one. Or we go to midnight mass every year. Or making cookies with my kids is my favorite part.
For are you ready for Christmas? You can be honest about your preparation level. Almost ready, just a few more gifts to buy. Or not even close. Or all done, I finished early this year. Or getting there slowly. Or I still have so much to do. Or ready as I'll ever be.
Now let's talk about common Christmas phrases and expressions that native speakers use all the time.
This is so useful. Let's start with greetings. What do people say during the Christmas season?
The most common greeting is Merry Christmas. You can also say Happy Holidays, which is more inclusive. Some people say Season's Greetings or Happy Christmas, which is more common in British English.
When do you use these greetings?
You use them throughout December and especially on Christmas Day itself. You might say them when you see someone, when you're saying goodbye, in Christmas cards, in emails, or when you're giving gifts.
What about expressions related to Christmas spirit?
People talk about the Christmas spirit, which means the feeling of generosity, joy, and goodwill that comes with the season. You might hear getting into the Christmas spirit, or full of Christmas cheer, or spreading Christmas joy.
What are some expressions related to preparations?
You might hear 'tis the season, which means this is the time for it, like 'tis the season to give, or 'tis the season to be jolly. People say Christmas is just around the corner when it's getting close. They say, ready or not, here it comes, about Christmas approaching. They talk about the countdown to Christmas, or counting the days.
What about expressions related to Santa Claus?
Santa Claus is a big part of Christmas culture, especially for children. People say, Santa is coming, or have you been naughty or nice, which refers to the idea that Santa rewards good children. Parents might say, Santa's watching, to encourage good behavior. Kids write letters to Santa with their wish lists.
What about expressions related to gifts?
People say it's better to give than to receive, which emphasizes generosity. They say it's the thought that counts, which means the meaning behind a gift matters more than its cost. You might hear, don't peek, about not looking at gifts early. People talk about spoiling someone, which means giving them lots of gifts or special treatment.
What about expressions related to togetherness?
People say home for the holidays, which emphasizes returning to family. They talk about gathering together or coming home for Christmas. You hear the more the merrier about having lots of people together. People emphasize quality time with family or making memories or creating traditions.
Let's talk about how to navigate religious versus secular Christmas conversations. This is an important distinction.
This is crucial. Christmas originated as a religious holiday celebrating Jesus' birth, but it's also celebrated culturally by many people who aren't religious. Understanding this helps you navigate conversations sensitively.
How do you talk about the religious aspects of Christmas?
If discussing the religious meaning, you might talk about the nativity story, Jesus' birth, going to church services, Christmas Mass, the religious meaning of the holiday, faith, prayer, or spiritual traditions. You might say, we're going to midnight Mass, or the nativity story is beautiful, or for us, Christmas is about celebrating Jesus' birth, or church is an important part of our Christmas.
How do you talk about the cultural aspects of Christmas?
If discussing the cultural aspects, you focus on family time, traditions, giving, togetherness, festive celebrations, good food, decorations, and the spirit of generosity. You might say, for us, Christmas is about family coming together. or we love the festive traditions, or it's about creating memories with people we love, or the spirit of giving is what matters most to us.
How you show respect for different approaches.
You can acknowledge different perspectives. Some people celebrate religiously and some people celebrate culturally. Both are meaningful. Or everyone has their own way of making Christmas special. Or the holiday means different things to different people. You avoid assuming everyone celebrates the same way you do.
What about when someone asks directly about the religious aspect?
If someone asks, "Do you go to church for Christmas?" you can answer honestly, "Yes, we attend Christmas Eve service every year." Or, "No, we celebrate more culturally." Or, "Sometimes, depending on the year." Or, "I'm not religious, but I respect the tradition." There's no pressure to pretend either way.
Let's talk about Christmas at work. How is Christmas discussed in professional settings?
In professional settings, Christmas conversations are usually lighter and more general. You might discuss time off, office parties, or simple holiday wishes.
What are appropriate work conversations about Christmas?
You might say, "When are you taking time off?" Or, "Will you be in the office next week?" Or, "Are you going to the Christmas party?" Or, "What are your holiday plans?" Or, "Have a great holiday break." These are safe, professional topics.
What should you avoid at work?
You should avoid assuming everyone celebrates Christmas, making people feel excluded, being too personal about family situations, or spending excessive work time on Christmas discussions. Keep it inclusive and professional.
What if your workplace has a Christmas party?
Office Christmas parties are common. You might say, "Are you going to the Christmas party?" Or, "The party was fun." Or, "Nice decorations at the office." Or, "I enjoyed the holiday lunch." These are neutral, friendly comments.
Let's talk about gift-giving etiquette in conversations. How do people discuss gifts politely?
Gift giving has its own conversational rules. When you receive a gift, you should express gratitude immediately and sincerely.
What do you say when you receive a gift?
You say, "Thank you so much," or "This is perfect," or "How thoughtful," or "I love it," or "You shouldn't have," which is a polite way of saying they were generous. Even if you don't love the gift, you focus on the thought. "Thank you for thinking of me," or "That's so kind of you." When you give, you might say, "I hope you like it," or "This made me think of you," or "I saw this and thought you'd enjoy it," or "Just a little something for you." You're being modest and warm.
What if someone asks what you want for Christmas?
You can be direct. "I'd love a new book," or "A gift card would be great," or "Surprise me." Or you can be vague. "I don't need anything," or "Whatever you think," or "Your company is gift enough," which is very polite, but might lead to random gifts.
Let me ask you something personal, John. What does Christmas mean to you?
Oh, that's a nice question. For me, Christmas is about slowing down and connecting with people I love. It's less about the gifts and more about shared moments, cooking together, laughing at old family stories, watching my nephews get excited about decorations. There's this warmth and coziness to the season that I really appreciate. It gives me a chance to reflect on the year and feel grateful. What about you, Maya?
For me, Christmas has always been about traditions. I love that certain things stay the same every year. The same recipes, the same movies, the same ornaments coming out of storage. There's comfort in that continuity. And I also love the generosity that fills the air. People seem kinder, more patient, more willing to help. It reminds me that we're all connected. And honestly, I love the lights and decorations. They make everything feel magical.
Those are beautiful answers, and that's really what this episode is about, finding the language to talk about Christmas in ways that are authentic to you, whether you celebrate religiously, culturally, or just appreciate the season from a distance.
Exactly, because Christmas conversations are everywhere this time of year, and being able to participate in them, in whatever way feels right for you, helps you connect with people and navigate English-speaking cultures more comfortably.
So, we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments. Do you celebrate Christmas? If yes, what's your favorite tradition? If no, how do you spend this time of year? Use some of the vocabulary we discussed today.
And remember, there's no judgment here. Everyone's experience is different. This is a practice space. Try out the language, share your perspective, see what feels natural.
If you found this conversation helpful and learned new ways to talk about Christmas in English, please give us a thumbs up. It helps other learners find this content.
And share this video with someone who's learning English. Maybe someone who wants to participate in Christmas conversations more confidently, or understand the cultural context better. This might give them the vocabulary they've been missing.
Subscribe if you haven't already and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next episode. We're going to keep exploring real communication, real connection, real life in English.
Until next time, stay nerdy, stay curious, and remember that your perspective matters, your voice is valuable, and you can join any conversation authentically.
See ya!
Bye, everyone.